na wo hwehwe mu ahunu say ye ka bi before asem dia ka bi before ba bia ye nchi free pa ye enemrem ye frɛ ba bi Egypt sabre no ne ye frɛ ho Kemet.
In fact, Kemet was known as the Black Land. It was a confederacy of all the African people. Akan was there, Yoruba was there, Ga, Ewe, Masai, you name, every African group was part of the Kemetic confederacy.
Wasi se oko na disua a wasua mu no kire se sa Kemet no na ye abibifo nyina nkabo mu na ewo ho na kanfo wo ho agbefo frafrafo anafo no mu nyina hye Kemet ho eye baby asabre ye frɛ ho Egypt.
And if you understand that today is a day for commemorating our ancestors, then we should understand that where did civilization begin? Where did our ancestors begin civilization and when?
Ose se ye nyina ye gitum se enne eye da ye de kai nananom a na ehu behia se ye bebusa ye ho se ehin ena nimdie eni nyansa eni anibie ankasa hyase ena daben.
And if you go into it, you will realize that the highest point of civilization, where chemistry, maths, physics, everything started, is in Kemet. That is why up to today, people travel to see the ruins, right? The ruins of 2,000, 3,000 years ago, people today get into the plane to look at the ruins, because when we were living there as a confederacy, you can imagine how great the place was.
Wasi ebesi nebrem no wani asua de akwa animu kra no ekọ ye tete bre na ye ne frɛ ho Kemet na nebrem Egypt ho esa akɔhwɛ baby anyansa mathematics, science, philosophy, chemistry enyina free by no omo kɔ ho kɔhwɛ efisɛ ya na ye omo wanwa sɛ ha bibifo mu ha ena sɛ nyansa wo wiase nyina no sɛ ɛhya ase.
But the question we want to ask, what was it that our ancestors were doing thousands of years ago that allowed them to begin and start civilization? What was it that they were doing?
Ɔse asɛmbisa opɛsi ebusa ho ne sɛ ɛde nana ye nananom ye sabre no a ɛma omutimi ɛhyɛ anibie ni nyansasɛm ase ɛwɔ saa Kemet ho.
And so the mission of Osase Society is to remind us of what it is that our ancestors were doing thousands of years ago that allowed us to bring civilization to the world.
Ɔse ti ni ko no omo adwempo kɛse pa ne sɛ omo bɛhwehwem adi ana ye nananom ɛyɛ no sabre na ɛma omo timi di nyansa ɛne abodie mu nyansa pɛ ahodo kɛse ɛbɛ wiase a sabre agigya.
And what it was is that our ancestors understood and realized and made it actual that man is made in the image and likeness of God.
Ɔse ye nananom gitum na omo mane enipa nyina huru sɛ enipa ye sɛ nyame ɛsɛso.
It's important because the greatness of Africa is in the understanding that man and woman is made in the image and likeness of God.
Ɔse ehia pa ase ye de sa betri etime fi sɛ abibifo enti ase mu no oba ne bema ye won wo soronko wo nyame ekwan so.
Now when you come to our language, you know, people go to China to study Shintoism, Confucianism, Taoism. They go to India and marvel at their so-called spiritual wisdom. But if you come to our own language, you will see that all the spiritual truths are in our language, and I want to share just one or two.
Ɔse so ko China ko hwɛ omo asom ahodo no Shinto, Hindu, yaka ni nyina. Wobehunu sɛ omo wɔ no kure baako bi wom. Na so kasa no kure ni nyina bom a na oba bibi mu amu ha uhu sɛ sa no kure ni nyina no ewie pɛ ye wɔ yɛn bibifo no na obefa mienu pɛ aka akyerɛ no atena ase.
And the difference is, instead of it being in a room in a university, we the Africans, we made it part of the culture. That's why if you don't look carefully, you may not see it.
Ɔse yɛn ye de ne nti sɛ de omo de kɔhye dem na omo aye na edem na ti sɛ university ho na akosua honhomsɛm ne ade no yɛn ye bibifo de wonam kra no na wusua enti so anhwɛ ni a unhunu sɛ wusua bibi.
When you greet somebody, you ask Woho Tiseng, right? Woho Tiseng.
Wasi ushia obi na ochia na ubisa say oho tiseng.
Meaning that there is a wo and a ho.
Kyerɛ sɛ wo ɛyɛ wo a wo kasa no ɛna susudua kɛseɛ ɛna wo de wo ho ɛtoto saa susudua no.
Let me explain it, Brent. Because he's changing it. There's a wo and a ho. There's a ho, wo ho. You and the person. Okay. There are two parts. You and your person.
Okay. Kyerɛ sɛ wo ɛna wo ho. Ɛwɔ hɔ.
That's right. And I'm asking, how is your person, your body, your mind? That's what I'm asking. How is it? So when I ask you in our language, and that's why I say, if you're not careful, you will not see it. I ask you, how are you? I'm not asking how are you. I'm asking, how is your person?
And so, Shano bisa so what is saying. O musa so what is so just oho nyina oho et is saying.
But the you, the real you, is the wo.
Eti you know, and
confused, right? Wono wa ho is adiepopo.
I say wono ye wa and a hono ye adiepopo.
And now what team is sisa wo ho? Tie, what team is sisa wo ho?
What team is sisa wo?
But what team is sisa wo?
But what team is sisa wo? Because
wo and nyame bako.
If you say wo any nyame bako.
That's right. And so the greatness of Africa, that the biggest thing that the European has done to us is to make us believe that we are human beings.
I say, Edia, Kwasikoko, Ayadia, higher pan, say, Wame, who you say, Yenipa, Keke.
Yenipa,
Yenipa, Eseso, Yenyamia Kasa.
So, if you understand it, then you understand the greatness of Africa.
It is all to a yasi, I'll bet you be asi, and I'll be sem asi.
Because religion is a science, it is not a belief system.
Enti religion or some addition keke. Science.
Nimdia. Let me explain it well. When we say that something is a science, it means that when you do the steps, you will always get the same results.
If
you take a sachet of water and put it in the freezer, a science, you'll get an ice block.
Science and I say body obetimi de atoto ho say ofa enso de share fridge mu a eye dan a be block.
That's right. So African traditional religion is the science of how you take a human being and turn him or her into a god. That is the ancient Egyptian mystery system.
Yen before yesom no et said ye wo be fa ni patra na wa hihye no aboa na amana be nyamisu.
That is why we have shrines and we have a comfort. Because you are supposed, God is not going to come from the heaven to help you.
If you say,
because you apply the science and you get the results every single time. And so, as I'm finishing, I want us to understand something. The European does not want us to follow our culture, our religion, because that is where the power is. Let me give you one last example. In science, physics, astrophysics, deep physics, we have something called a black hole. And the black hole is the most powerful force in the universe. Not even light can escape it. That's why it's called a black hole. All light, everything, it will pull it in. That is how powerful it is.
Abodi boom sa now ko wachi na hwa eti se esum bia ayese kawa esum na numu na bibia won sa na yetumi no Akabomu. I don't know if I'm getting it.
No, you didn't get it.
Come again.
And the reason why I'm saying this is this. I want us to understand that everything that we learn in the universities is in our culture. What is the word for black in Twi?
Ose your person ochira mimi hunu mu chire ne say ade bia yesua no ye university ho no efri yen
in our culture.
Yen yamamrem.
And my question to you is, what is the word for black in Twi?
Enti obusa say tuntum black ni din ne say otwi.
Yes, tum.
Tuntum.
Power is what?
Ena tumi so power so ye dey. Tumi.
The same root.
Enti o hwe asem no na se na tum ewo ni nyina mu tumi ena tuntum.
And the reason why is this. What our ancestors understood. If you want to control the world, if you want to control your life, if you want your life to go the way you want it to go, first you must go within. Still everything in your mind until everything is black. It's a state of mind, the core of your being. You go in and everything is black. You see what you want to achieve in this world. And you come out of that state and it will be what you want it to be. That's the secret the white man doesn't want us to.
I say, nyansa ye na nanu di ja ye ne say, se wi aso pese bibia koyema wa, e wo se wo kɔ wa wo mu. Na wo nya abotire tie o mu se wo mu bibia no aye sum kabi wo hunu hwe. Na se wotimi free sa sum no pia bibia pese o ye no asase su bia na timi yeye. Na no na broni ana kwasi kokon pese obi hu a enti wo pam furu na na.
So let us venerate, as you said, our ancestors. Let us study our culture, because that is where the black man and woman's power lies. Thank you very much.
Eti mama yensia ya mamre na yensia ya honhom semfri se ho ena before yetumi efriba.
Yemo yesama fama aye yura kofi bonsu.